Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just got out of the shower. Um, Before that, I just came back from a run, and before that, I watched Game of Thrones. Tonight's episode, I mean, I don't even have words for this. I'm just gonna start by saying if you're watching this on IG, this is gonna be longer than a minute, and if you want to watch the rest of it, you have to go on my YouTube channel to watch it. The last hour, I would say, has been, I don't know. I feel like I'm changed. Um, I watched the show, and to be honest with you, I was really disappointed. Sorry, my breath cell. I was really disappointed on the way that the episode went. I didn't expect what happened to happen, and I don't think anybody else did. Without having any spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen the show yet, I just didn't care for it. It was just, I don't know, it put me in a bad place. I just feel like 8 years for what? But it's fine. I think, yeah, next week is the season finale and the series finale, so it'll come to an end. I hope the next episode is better than this one, because it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't great. It was just, they tried to wrap it up too quickly. I thought it was sloppy, not in keeping with the good storytelling that they've had for literally years. But I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a TV show, and it's not that serious. There's more important things in life than Game of Thrones. After the show, I was gonna go to bed because I have to be up at work at 7 in the morning. Excuse me. I have to be at work at 7, and it's about 11:30, I think, right now. I don't know. Who knows? But I decided to go on a run because I have a physical fitness test coming up on Saturday with my Army unit. I'm getting transferred to another unit, to the same position, just another unit. I guess it's the universe's way of telling me that I've outgrown the unit that I'm in, even though I really had plans for them. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, your plans don't really matter if the universe has something bigger for you. So instead of fighting it, I'm just gonna go with the flow and hope for the best. The new unit that I'm going with, I haven't heard anything bad about them. I've heard nothing but good things, actually, and I'm really looking forward to working with those guys. So it'll be a new and probably final chapter in my Army life, because, as I said before, I'm gonna be retiring in a couple years, so I could focus more on my personal life, because the Army does take up quite a bit of my time, which is fine. I mean, it's what I chose. I'm not complaining at all. I'm very grateful, actually, for the Army. It's helped me become the person that I am today, and I would be, I don't know, in a completely different place, I think, if I hadn't joined. Anyway, so after the run, or at least right up until I was about to finish the run, sorry, I'm like all over the fucking place right now, I started to remember things. It's Mother's Day, and I'm pretty open with the fact that I don't really get along with my mom very well. It, it's just been an ongoing thing throughout my life that I've just been unhappy with the way she raised me, I guess. The way she chose to love me or discipline me or whatever. I thought that she could have been kinder and more loving, but that's not her nature, and her nature is, it's not her love language, right? To be, it's her love language is, I think it's giving gifts or acts of kindness. But that's different from my love language. But the thing about love is you have to accept it the way the person gives it to you. You don't get to choose how a person loves you, whether you agree with it or like it or not. The same thing goes for you. I mean, people can expect whatever they want from you in terms of love, but no one can demand it of you. And I'm no different. But my whole life, I've kind of been demanding that my mom be loving and nurturing, like I've seen with other people and their moms. We just have a really different relationship. I thought that growing up, it was like I was already in the military. It was very, she was very strict. She wasn't having any of the misbehaving bullshit that you see in public sometimes. So when I see a kid like throws himself on the ground because they're not getting their way, I can't relate, uh, because she wasn't fucking having it. But I have to be grateful, for her, because she's another reason, that I am in the place I'm in right now. If it wasn't for her, not giving up on me, because I remember now, uh, somehow, that when I was young, I was sick all the time. She gave up a lot for me, and I never considered those things because all I could focus on is the bad stuff. I never really focused on the good stuff, and I think that's not fair. That you just overlook all the good and wonderful things that your parents, especially your mom, or whoever your primary care, giver is, because they just don't meet your expectations of what you think a caregiver should be. It's not really fair. So during my run, towards the end of the run, I started to have a breakdown. I started remembering, like flashes from my childhood, when she was mistreating me, and then I had like kind of like a daydream of me as an adult stepping in between her and the little kid that was me, and then when she walked away, like it's like I consoled the little kid, who was me, and I told him that I love him, and that, that she's the way she is, and there's nothing else to do about it. But I shouldn't take it personally, and honestly, the universe gave me someone to love me, I would say, the way I thought I should be loved, in place of my mom, which was my grandmother. The lady was the world to me. I always say that she is responsible for the best parts of me. I've only known her, I'd only known her for just over half my life before she died, but I will never forget her. I feel like she saved my life on so many levels. She was the most kind and loving person I've ever met, and I miss her all the time. But I can't hold my mom to that standard. I can't hold anybody to that standard because it doesn't work that way. But anyway, I don't know. I finished the run. I looked at my time. The time was shit, for the run, but I did run a little extra, so who knows. But then I just fell. I just fell down into the grass, the wet grass, after, I mean, it just rained a couple hours ago, and I just sobbed like a fucking child. And I was just, I, I, I said sorry like 100 times to the little kid, that I wasn't there for him, that I didn't love him. And the little kid, again, is me. The little kid inside me that's just been crying and alone for 36 years. I finally put my arms around him and said that I love you, and I do. And I asked for forgiveness, and I forgive my mom for not being the way that I expected her to be, because it's not fair for me to have these expectations of her. It's a fantasy for me to have these expectations. She gives her love the way she wants, and I have to be able to just accept it, because love with conditions isn't love. You can't have conditions with people, because that's not love. Love is just, it's just what it is. And if I have these expectations of her, other people have these expectations of me, and I can't meet them. So all that to say that I can finally look in the mirror now and say that I love myself. And I'm so thankful for that, because it's like I feel like my whole life has shifted. I don't know. I feel different. I walked in to the house. I went straight to take a shower, and I just felt like a different person. Like just a whole weight's been lifted off of me. I just want to thank the universe for putting me in this place, for finally letting me love myself and forgive myself and to forgive my mom for something that I never needed to forgive her for anyway, which was just being herself. And I'm really sorry that I've ever said anything bad about her. I guess at the time I didn't understand. And I don't know, ignorance is bliss, as they say, and what you don't know can sometimes hurt you. And for years this has hurt me because I just didn't know. I didn't look at it from her point of view or from a different perspective, even though I had plenty of opportunities to. But today I couldn't ignore the universe's call. I feel like a really completely different person. I don't know, it's very strange. All I'm gonna do is try to embrace it and try to be the best version of myself that I can be. If you have issues with your parents, especially like I said, your primary care person who you grew up with, be it your mom, your dad, sister, brother, whatever, whoever, and you're having a grudge or you're having like a bad relationship with them, it's not worth it. Time's too short. Life is too short. You have to forgive them. Forgive yourself. Be easy. Be loving to yourself. Love yourself first. Because if you can't love yourself, there's no way you can love someone else, and there's no way you can expect anybody to love you if you can't love yourself. And I'm just really, really, really grateful in this time and this space that I can finally do that. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Have a good morning, good night, whenever you see this. Later.